Got my Creed tickets.
God. Is that the one in October?
November, yeah, with Mammoth opening. So I was like, I gotta go to this one. Then I got shut out for the one at Pine Knob in the summer. I gotta go. I gotta go to the November one. So
Yeah, Three Doors Down is playing too, right?
yes, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I saw that.
That's a primo triple bill, if you ask me. So I'm pretty pumped.
I wonder if that's one of the ones that I might get offered for work.
Maybe.
I don't know
I don't know.
I'll be honest, I don't know enough of the Creed catalog to properly cover a show.
Oh,
So
I
that
could
would
help. I could help you.
well no, because it would require me listening to the Creed catalog.
No. I would just text you. Okay, this song is called blank, so you could.
Right, but I'd have to have some expertise to know. Just play My Sacrifice in the one they play on all the WWE, and I'd be good.
That's My Sacrifice. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
See, that's what I mean. I don't
Yeah.
know enough.
Yeah, that's fine. We're also taking Kingston to go see Monster Jam here in a couple weeks.
Oh, okay. He'll have fun with that.
Yes, yeah, we're pretty pumped. He doesn't know yet, so
Does Monster Jam still do the thing where they pretend like it's wrestling and they have like feuds between the teams and stuff?
I have no idea.
Okay. I went I think it was his 17th birthday, our Seattle correspondent, Matt Manti.
Who you just
He
got back from visiting?
Yeah, yes, I did. We went to Monster Jam for his birthday one year at the Silverdome.
Okay.
The Superdome.
Yeah.
And it was Detroit versus Colorado, and the ATV teams got into like a fight on the course during
Nice.
the taping of the TV show. And I'm like, this is just like wrestling.
So, yeah. So that'll be fun. So, and now I guess I gotta buy those Night 2 WrestleMania tickets. But
Well, maybe.
Maybe we'll get there. We're saving that for last because I have some things to say. But I actually I want to talk about AEW because I watched last night's Dynamite and I had a great time.
I've seen lots of positivity from the show for the most part.
Yeah, it was a good show. It started off. I mean, you can't go wrong, I guess, when you put Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland in the ring together because they tore the house down again last night. And I was like, I probably should have. Maybe it's because I haven't been paying as close attention to the AEW product, so it didn't dawn on me. I probably should have figured it was going to end in a draw, but the whole thing, I'm like, Hangman really shouldn't lose a third one to Swerve. But then again, it's Swerve's time. Like, he should probably face Joe. So it ends in a draw. And I think, I don't know. Everyone seems to think they're doing a double turn. I could see that. And honestly, the way that they book Hangman half the time, it probably would benefit him to go heel for a little bit. But I really liked that, they ended it, the time limit goes, and Swerve is the one who asked for the 5 more minutes, and Hangman's like, nah, you had to beat me to get your shot. I'm not, we're not doing 5 more minutes. Well, then Tony Schiavone made the announcement that it was going to be a triple threat at the pay-per-view. So, and then Hangman got all pissed off about that, and Samoa Joe's not happy about it either, but it was a good way to open the show, and like I said, just putting those two in the ring together, it's good stuff. They got great chemistry.
I thought the stip was whoever won got the title shot at.
Correct, but seeing as neither man won, it's a triple threat.
Wait, but Hangman was cool? No, but I'm saying Hangman didn't want the 5 more minutes. Presumably meaning he wasn't interested in fighting for the title?
That's a great point. Unless
because I'll fully admit I didn't watch the show, and I only looked at the match card, And so I swear the stipulation was the winner got the shot. So like,
it was.
would you want
I'd have to look at the rankings, but I see.
Oh yeah, those are back.
Yeah, they brought the rankings back, which I'm actually a fan of if they're like
I am too.
treated with thought and care. So, and I'm not going to bother to look it up right now, but unless he was above Swerve in the rankings somehow, that'd be the only way that I could justify that. But even then,
how does that make any sense when he's 0-2 against Swerve in the last 90 days?
Sure,
like,
sure.
Come on, that's. No, I don't care.
I don't
care how
that's
good the match was.
I actually think
this is terrible booking. I don't care.
I actually think Swerve was ahead of him. No, you're right. I didn't even think about that last night when it happened. So yeah, maybe he was more. I guess as a character, he was more concerned about Swerve not getting a shot than him getting the shot. I don't know.
That doesn't make sense to me. Based on the reactions I've seen on the internet today, Swerve and Hangman is the new Flair Steamboat, because these AEW slaps are like, this is the greatest trilogy of the 21st century.
Yeah, I wouldn't. They're great
fully
matches.
admit
that's all I know.
Wrestle Dream was an awesome match. I didn't see Full Gear.
I didn't either.
I plan on watching the Dynamite match this weekend.
Yeah. No, I mean they're great together. Throwing that kind of hyperbole on it is ridiculous, but again, we'll get to it. Wrestling fans have been quite ridiculous in some aspects this week. So
I think what is really great about it is it's two fresh faces in terms of like a rivalry that people are really invested in. AEW hasn't really done that in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Where you could almost argue from the start of the company, every one of their big rivalries has involved people that were kind of already established. This kind of feels like maybe like a Brett and Shawn sort of thing, where like these two can go together for a really long time. And I know Hangman has already been the champion, but this feels like the defining feud of his career right now, because I think a lot of people, even though the Kenny thing in the Bucks was really well done, I think ultimately when it finally culminated, people were let down by it. And this feels like a lot like people are just in for it.
And that was a story. This is an actual feud, and I think there's a difference.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
Also, Tony had a big announcement. He loves his big announcements. And he announced that on
tickets for All In are still on sale.
Yeah. Sure, that too. But no, on March 13th at the TD Garden in Boston. A special edition of Dynamite called Big Business. And if you look on the graphic, the Boston is spelled with $2 signs in the middle. Wonder what that could mean.
Yeah.
So all signs are pointing to Mercedes Mone making her AEW debut at that show. So, and or Okada.
I mean, to me, that's the more interesting one. Like, look, all due respect, I get what he's doing here. He's trying to do the first dance. He's trying to recreate the Punk thing. I love it. I think it's a great idea. She's not going to have that kind of impact. Like, it's not going to make that.
Maybe.
Look, I know people are excited that she's a big star that's coming over, but let's not forget she was really bad in the ring the last couple years she was there. She got hurt real quick when she went on the indies. She hasn't been in the ring in a while. Like, I don't think the character is going to be that great where it's going to cover the fact that she's still not talented in the ring, or not as developed as the other four horsewomen. We'll put it like that. And what the AEW women's division really needs is a star that can also work, because the matches always get drugged down
Mm-hmm.
because they just can't seem to find, a Becky Lynch or a Bianca or a Rhea who can not only have a great character, but can have excellent matches week in and week out.
Sure. That's fair.
And she was just on national TV like a year and a half ago. Like, Punk was gone for a long time.
Sure. And I don't think, and I'm to your point, I don't think she's as identifiable with Boston as Punk is to Chicago.
Right.
So there's that, but we'll see. We'll see. I hope they move a ton of tickets. I hope it works for him. They've been
but then you're in a room with a bunch of people from Boston, and awful.
Fuck Boston.
Good call.
I should have loaded up that clip on here and played it. Oh well, too bad.
See, this is what we get for never talking about things before the show.
Yeah. So but also like it's kind of interesting that for all the talk that we did about how, the shift in power in WWE was going to lead to here we go. Hold on.
I didn't hear any of that.
You didn't hear it? Oh wow! It was the clip from Winning Time when they're all in the bar.
Yes,
they all
I knew that's what you were going for.
Oh well. Anyways, what was it? Oh, for all the talk that we had, about with the new regime in WWE and what that would mean for free agents. As far as the women go, obviously Naomi went back to the WWE, but so far in this year, AEW has gotten Deonna Purrazzo. Looks like they're getting Mercedes, and it sounds like they're getting Camille too. So they're really. He's at least going to throw money at the problem. Sure. Whether he throws time at the problem, and that part has been getting better too. But
here's it's not just television time though. They tried it with those house shows. These women and a lot of the guys on the roster, they need more time in the ring. They need more reps in front of a live audience. And it's really hard to do that when you're not on the road multiple times a week. Even with the Collision and the Rampage doing the tapings and stuff like that, you're still only getting a couple matches a week at most out of some of these people that probably could use some more time.
See, I don't think I think just as important as the match quality, like people gotta care, and for people to care, you gotta be on TV. Like that's just as important as match quality.
Well, no, because you have to be on TV and be entertaining and be good. If you don't ever get a chance to work on your character in front of a live audience, where if you fail, it becomes a meme the next day and everyone's making fun of you, you don't get to try things out. You don't get to develop. When you do get that TV time, you look like a deer in headlights. I think Tay Conti is a great example of that. Early on, there were times where like she didn't look like she belonged on national TV. Right. And over time, she got a lot better, and now she looks like she belongs. But imagine how much quicker that would have accelerated, like that growth would have accelerated if she were working 3 or 4 times a week in front of a crowd. We're getting off topic here.
Yeah.
I just like, and it's not just the women. Like I said, there's a lot. I think Pillman Jr. is a prime example of that. Going over to NXT where he's working a lot more is only going to help him. But going back to the original point, I hope it works out for him. I hope that they are able to build this roster, but they gotta make these. Giving them TV time isn't just going to fix everything. They have to get people in there that can actually work and entertain.
That's fair. And then to close out the night, we got new tag team champions. Darby Allin and Sting beat Ricky Starks and Big Bill in a hellacious tornado tag match. I'm sure you've seen it. Have you seen the Boss Man Slam on the outside?
Yes.
That big man, Big Bill rules in AEW. I'm sorry, and maybe it's just because he looks even more like like he's 7 feet tall, and you can't teach that in AEW against the small, a lot of the smaller guys they have.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, whether it's him, getting his life straightened out or whatever, he rules in AEW.
Yeah, and it's really nice to see him kind of bounce back and find a little bit of a run, And look, Darby Allin, man.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone talks about how much he, he's so crazy, blah, blah, blah. I don't think he gets enough credit for how much he gets everyone on that roster over.
Mm-hmm.
He that move looked so freaking cool last night. And for him to agree to take that, man, that's huge. It gives people something to remember about Big Bill, and he's done that for so many guys on this roster.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, they finally get their shot, and they win the tag titles, and then they are attacked by Nicholas and Matthew. I actually like this Nicholas and Matthew, them leaning into the EVPs thing that they're doing. In fact, it's no longer the BTE trigger; it's the EVP trigger. So, yeah. So it looks like Sting's last match will be against. I don't even know if they're calling themselves the Young Bucks anymore, but Nicholas and Matthew. That's who it looks like they're facing at Revolution.
Cool.
All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we get to the topic du jour? The main thing.
Yeah. Going back real quick, we mentioned Okada and never really got back to it.
Yeah.
I do feel like that's. I don't think it can be just Sasha or Mercedes. I feel like Okada coming in at the end of that too would be a big.
It would be their, the Bryan, Adam Cole, at the end of All Out type deal.
Right.
Yeah,
or it could be MJF's return too,
Could be. Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? We'll see. But that's in about a month. So.
Yeah, I'm happy to see from what I can tell, people are saying the last couple of weeks they've started to get back to AEW.
Yeah.
And
yeah, no,
hopefully they keep it up.
I really enjoyed last night's show. So, yeah, hopefully they, like you said, hopefully they can keep it up. All right, let's get to this mess.
I'm just gonna let you go.
Okay. So I've been going over how I wanted to address this all week, and I still don't know if I would need to get a couple things out of the way first before we get into the meat and potatoes. Because there's been a lot of stuff online this week that hasn't sat right with me. We decided here when we rebooted the show that we're going to talk about mainly stuff on screen and the stuff that relates to what's on the screen from, behind the scenes and whatnot. But the super, I think the example we gave was we weren't really going to talk a whole lot about Brawl Out, if we were doing the podcast when that happened. And so I bring that up to say, because one of the things that's bothered me is the people saying, or trying to say like if you're mad about this Cody situation, then like you're not mad about the lawsuit and all that. Like I don't think they're mutually exclusive. Speaking for me personally,
Right.
as far as like the lawsuit and all that goes, how I'm handling it myself, and I'll let you speak for yourself if you want to after I'm done. But like the two people that we know that are named are no longer in the company. The other person that was heavily like everyone doesn't need to be Sherlock Holmes to figure out who it is, the talent, he's not factored in creatively at the moment, in fact. And they took him off the cover of the video game, and for all intents and purposes, he's out of the picture. No one else has been named yet. So until more people are named as either accomplices or, you know, allowing this horrible behavior to happen, like I'm not gonna call for people's jobs. I've seen a lot, not a lot, but enough of almost fantasy booking people who could be involved in this scandal on, and it's just like I'm just not. And so it's a legal matter, and so until the next big thing where we have to be like, okay, well, this person needs to be gone, like I don't personally feel like I need to harp on that constantly myself. So
fair enough.
Yeah. So I just, because yeah, that's been the big thing is like you guys are more mad about this Cody thing, and I was like, well, no, no, they're two totally different things. There's definitely some people who are like, let me not get that twisted either. There's definitely some people who are. There's like just like there's some people who decided to take it way too far and threaten Rock's daughter and say a bunch of awful stuff to Sammy when he like, and Ricochet, and like people, wrestling fans are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And they take things way too far. So, but it's just like, it's basically what it felt like was like, if you're tweeting about this, if you're talking about this and you're not talking about the other thing, then you don't care about the other thing. It's like, well, not every, like, it's just, that's just not how I conduct myself. But
I think too, it's also we don't even know how much more is yet to come out.
Right.
So if, like you said, if you look at Vince isn't there anymore, Laurinaitis isn't there anymore, Brock isn't there anymore, and the company has been, it seems, has been very active about like, okay, well, if these accusations come out or they're named in the lawsuit and we find something, egregious happened here, we'll show them the door. Until the next name comes out, it's not really the company isn't going to just volunteer what they know.
Right.
So it's a difficult situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can have an opinion on both and feel more anger or awfulness towards the real life situation, but unless the only solution is to stop watching it completely,
mm-hmm.
Then you're never going to be happy with the outcome. Like if the only thing you'll accept is WWE goes away forever from now on, and you're going to get upset when everyone it doesn't give enough attention to the awfulness, you're just going to be mad all the time.
Right. So yeah, I wanted to get that out of the way first, because not that our show gets watched a ton, but I just needed to address that first before I got into the absolute stupidity that has been on my television screen since last Friday.
You're the one that plays those Kiss DVDs. I don't want.
Fair. I texted you. I felt like I really tried not to bother you while you were on your trip, and I couldn't help, like, And the funny thing is, I didn't even watch SmackDown Friday because, so, like I said, like I told you before we hit record, we went up to the in-laws this weekend. Kingston and I went up first thing Friday, so he and I were up there all day. And so I was on my phone, on my phone, and all of a sudden I see SRS start tweeting Nancy Kerrigan photos and adding Cody in them. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh, no.
I know what that means. And so I was actually, and like when I'm up there, like I just feel weird about turning my wrestling on while I'm up there for some stupid reason. I don't know. So instead I watched the NHL All-Star Skills Competition.
Oh, because that's better.
Well, and so, I was kind of following along on my phone and stuff, and sure enough, Rock's here, or, Cody comes out to face, no, wait, back up even further. Roman comes out, completely buries Seth and his title, because that's great business. Then Cody comes out and says, I'm still coming for you. I'm going to take everything from you, but not at WrestleMania. And it's like, what? And then out comes The Rock. And they do the stare down. And then it's just like, what are they doing? Like, how does this make sense at all? Cody Rhodes won the fucking Royal Rumble. Why would he voluntarily step aside for The Rock to get the match at WrestleMania? It makes zero sense. And here we are. They had Raw on Monday. They had their little press conference deal a couple hours ago. I still don't know what the hell is going on because none of it makes any sense. Go ahead.
All right. I want to real quick. I'm going to read the text you sent me that I got would be 10:27 p.m. Michigan time.
Yes.
It was so SmackDown hadn't even aired yet where I was at.
Oh, nice.
I know you're on the opposite coast with the pastor and his wife, but FCM Punk and his broken ass body.
I was very spiteful.
And I said, so what did he do now? And you said, got hurt. And now Cody is facing Seth at Mania, probably. Who cares? Because he's not facing Roman, and I hate everything. And then the other texts were a lot more F-bombs than you ever included in our text. I showed Holly, I'm like, Kris is very upset right now. God. Let me ask you this.
Well, first, I'd like to apologize to you, and I'd like to apologize to CM Punk.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you on his behalf. That's my very close personal friend.
That was very spiteful of me. It's not his fault. I needed someone to lash out at, and that was the first thing I could think of was like, oh no, Punk's hurt, and so they need something to replace Punk, and here comes The Rock. So, go on. Sorry.
So no, my question for you, because I do have thoughts, but how it doesn't matter what their overall plan is. How do you feel about them making him look just like a punk every chance they get? Getting little brother by The Rock on Friday and then into tonight.
It makes zero sense. I don't know why. I don't have words. I don't know why. He is everything that they've wanted for years. He is he's the most over guy they've had since Cena. He's more universally loved than Cena ever was. he's probably, as far as like the all-American white meat babyface, he's the closest thing to that they've had since Hogan. Like he's the real people's champ right now. Like, and I'm not even saying that out of spite. Like, he is. Did you see the clip from the house show from the day after that? The with the blind fan?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like, what? It just makes zero sense to me. And like this whole tap dance routine that Meltzer has been doing all week of, well, I think they're doing it to make Cody bigger. I'm like, again, that makes zero sense. Like,
no, go ahead.
But see, here's the thing. If they would have stuck to their guns, I could see that. But the fact that you're never going to convince me this whole fiasco that happened today was the plan from the get-go. I will never be convinced of that. Unless it comes out of Cody's mouth himself. But there's no way that this was the plan from the get-go. Because he still looks stupid. Because you've got to figure out a way, and maybe they can do it tomorrow on SmackDown or whatever. You still got to figure out a way to retcon the fact that he stood right in Roman's face last week and told him, I'm coming for you, but not at WrestleMania. Well, now he is coming for him at WrestleMania? Like...
Well, and when he won the Rumble, he pointed at Roman.
And they go off the air with Michael Cole screaming at the top of his lungs, "Hey Roman, what inning are we in now?"
Yeah.
Like, and so that was my thing, because there were reports that like that day of the Rumble, like Rock was talking about doing the match with Roman. I'm like, if there's even a chance that you can and will do that match, you cannot have Cody Rhodes win the Royal Rumble. If they had Punk win the Rumble, even though he got hurt, having to pivot away from that match is a hell of a lot easier than cleaning up whatever mess they made for themselves this week. Because I think had Cody not won the Rumble and they went in to do Rock and Roman, yes, people like me still would have been... We would have been upset, but like I said before the Rumble, I get it. If you want to do the Rock and Roman, I get it. But once you had Cody win the Rumble, you can't do that match now. It has to be Cody and Roman. Period.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't have a way that I think that I've thought of that would make me happy. Like, it's convoluted, it's messy. That thing today was it was really bad. To me it was a couple before I move on or continue with my thought about the main event. The two things I did, well, there are a few things I liked about the overall presentation, but what they did with that main scene is not what it wasn't for me. But I like that they had the element of it's in front of a WWE crowd and you're getting a live reaction that it didn't sound filtered like it does on Raw and stuff.
Right.
You could hear how the crowd, so you could hear what was working and what wasn't. I liked the presentation of like afterwards when Triple H is backstage talking, and it felt like they came across each other in the hallway and we just happened to have our cameras here. And I liked the idea of bringing in other superstars to talk about it.
Yeah.
I thought Punk really added to the presentation. And not just because I'm a Punk guy, but he was the only one up there that wasn't just spewing like an easy storyline point. He was poking holes, and that's probably what they wanted him there for. But like that bit at the end where he's like, you got to start punching people in the mouth, like a little throw to, that's how I ended up here. Is like someone steps up to you and talks crap, you got to punch somebody in the mouth. Like,
his boss hit him.
yeah,
I'd smack an executive.
right. Like, lean into that.
Yeah.
But as far as advancing the story, I don't hate the idea of like you've insulted the family and the Rock and Roman um, put aside their differences for a minute to handle the family business,
Mm-hmm.
because I think that also plays into an interesting thing you could do with Jay down the road,
Mm-hmm.
where when the bloodline is coming after Cody and the numbers are not in Cody's favor, what if Jay is the one that actually stays away from the bloodline?
Right.
That'd be a fascinating story. Or he could be the one that screws Cody, and just like that's how you get through to get Cody to next year, so we can keep the story going.
Oh, fuck.
Uh,
Oh.
uh, but I don't like that it's centered around The Rock. He looked, of the four people on the stage tonight, he was clearly at a level below them. His shtick don't work anymore. I I was saying about this the other day. This bringing him back now, 24 years after he was at his peak, would be akin to when Steve Austin was at his rise in 1998, going back to 1974 and going like, "Hey Bruno, how do you feel about coming back for one more run?"
Right.
Like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You want to do Roman and Rock? I get it. I understand the business of it. I really, really do. But holy crap, that there's no story that needs to be told there. You can do that anytime. You can just do it at WrestleMania and keep Cody and Roman as another storyline and weave them in and out. But this whole bringing Rock in and he's taking Cody's match and Cody's just rolling over and taking it, like not upset at all about it, comes out today and like gives that kind of a half-ass promo, but again gets smacked in the face and just, "Whoa, what do you do?" Like, what would have made better headlines for the national press that was there? A pull apart or Cody tackling The Rock on
Yeah, he should have
stage?
double legged him. He's an amateur
Exactly.
wrestler.
Exactly. And then you get all those pictures of The Rock gets attacked at WWE event,
Yeah.
and then you do the thing backstage where he's like, "I'll knock that MFer out, blah, blah, blah." That would have been good. But him going out there and The Rock doing his spiel, and it's played out like, what's coming, and it's just like, man, this sucks. This
Mm-hmm.
sucks. But Roman, Cody, Seth all had the crowd in the palm of their hands when it was their turn. And
Yeah.
I don't know. He doesn't belong up there with those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. So in a vacuum, I like what happened. I liked what they did tonight. Um minus the whole, it's going to be Rock and Roman fake out thing. But from the point Cody came out till the end, like, I liked all that again, but you still have to explain away what happened last week on SmackDown. But yeah, no, I'm all for you know, Rock and Roman have, deciding to team up and like raise hell on everybody, from here until Mania, and make Cody's life a living hell until Mania and stuff like that. The I won't call it a room.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say something people are throwing around right now, and it's just because Big E said something on the panel afterwards, is maybe you do, because everyone was like, oh well, are they gonna do, because while everyone was trying to fantasy book their way out of the mess, it was like, well, do you do the Rock Roman one night? Do you do Cody Roman the next night? One of
Yeah.
the things that's being thrown out right now, nothing like, not even, I wouldn't even call it a rumor. It's just people throwing shit out there, is you do the tag match, because it clearly to me
And
looks like
at
we're
the
getting
chamber.
well, no, people are saying to do the tag match night 1, and then you do the one-on-one Cody Roman match night 2.
No, absolutely not. No. The only thing The Rock should be there for is to face Roman Reigns. He doesn't need to be a central figure throughout this whole thing. I just it's gonna drag down Cody's moment. And that's what I mean by he didn't feel like he was on the level of the other guys in terms of being able to keep up on the mic. You know he's not going to be able to keep up in the ring, right? So you got to make sure what you're doing with him is outstanding, so that it draws the way you think it can.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you're mixing him in with all this, I just think it overexposes him,
Well,
and it's.
But I think if you do the tag match, whenever you do it, I don't know. I personally, even though the match isn't going to be anything great, I think you got to give Rhea the main event at Elimination Chamber.
Sure.
But if you do the tag match there, that would be the main, like, that dwarfs everything. So if you do it on night 1, or whenever you do it, if you do the tag match, you can kind of hide Rock in the tag match.
Right. And you could hide Seth too, because Seth's banged up.
Right. But see, they're saying Seth would work twice though too, because then he would probably face Drew or do the triple threat with Drew and Sammy on night 2 then as well.
Yeah, so you do the tag match at Elimination Chamber.
We'll see. I don't know.
I'm fine if Dwayne wrestles. I'm fine if Dwayne wrestles a tag match at Elimination Chamber, but Mania should be him and Roman. It should just center around the head of the table thing, and Cody should have been getting the one up on Roman by waiting for them to sign the contract for night 1, and then Cody is like, "Well, I'm gonna, use my WrestleMania." Like that. That just seems like the most logical thing they could have done.
Maybe I see. I still think the play is waiting and doing Rock and Roman 1-on-1 next year. I've always thought that.
If he can,
because that gives him a whole year to get his shit together and be able to be passable in a match, a one-on-one match.
But then you're risking, he's 50 some years old, does he get hurt in training? Does he get a huge movie offer that he can't turn down?
He ain't doing shit other than Moana live action and Moana 2 and Moana Electric Boogaloo
and Fast and the Furious, and you got him now. I think you gotta do it now, especially it being the 40th WrestleMania. It's the first one with TKO as the parent company. They're trying to make this thing a global phenomenon again. They're trying to get Attitude Era business. They're getting close to it, or they're doing better, but they're trying to do that on a very consistent basis.
Yeah.
If you can get him in the match and you can get the match in the ring, I feel like you got to do it now.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Triple H tweeted out the graphic for Roman Cody. I don't feel comfortable at all that that's what it's going to end up being yet. They've got me so fucking just.
Man, it's what I'm. Cody is winning the belt at WrestleMania.
He goddamn better.
In my opinion,
aside from, and we were texting about it during the Rumble. Aside from the fact that obviously Cody is my guy, and I'm wanting this for him, I cannot take another fucking year of these boring ass Roman Reigns title matches. He's done a complete 360 now. He did a 180 when he started this tribal chief business, and it was like, oh wow, Roman Reigns, he's awesome. Well, we're right back to where we were before, only this time he's a heel and just cheating all the time to win his matches instead of being super Roman and overcoming all these mammoth odds all the time. Like, just the same old shit every 3 months, because God forbid, like,
they created a heel that you genuinely don't like.
but see, it's not for the right reasons though.
No, I get it. I agree with a large portion of that. That being said, I think it's going to be Cody's year. If I were betting, right now I'd put the money on Cody. I kind of want to see them keep this going.
I know you do. You
I want to
watch the world burn. No, you.
I want to watch wrestling fans just lose their mind over it. It's entertaining.
You want to watch me leap off the top of Lincoln Financial Field? I get it.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's interesting to me to see if they can get past Bruno. Like, I'm kind of curious to see, like, would they try it?
That's the other thing. We got to stop with this Hogan nonsense. Passing Hogan is not a big deal, especially because he's still all over he did the intro for the Royal Rumble. It's not like they're trying to bury him like he's like exiled from the company. Like,
right.
This isn't a thing. It's not a record. There's only one record, and it's the Bruto record. It's people are so just dumb.
I got a fantasy booking scenario I just came up with.
Go ahead. Lay it on me.
Roman and Rock wrestle night 1. Rock wins, right? Roman beats Cody on night 2 because everyone just assumes
he's Roman isn't for the title?
No, because then what's going to happen is the night after at Raw, Roman comes out and demands a rematch because Rock's calling himself the head of the table. Rock says you can have it next year at WrestleMania if you're still the world champion. Boom! Pisses everybody off. Ruins WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That's how you watch the world burn.
Yeah. Let's ruin 2 WrestleManias at once.
Yeah.
3, actually, because, again,
this
wouldn't be an issue if they would have just had Cody win last year. Then they could have done their little Rock Roman match this year, and everything would have been hunky dory. But no,
I think the reason that happened is no longer with the company and will never be involved with it ever again.
Sure.
That is why I also am like, this is Cody's year. It's I do buy into this. They're leaning into making people love Cody even more, and it's based on what we've heard over the last week at the house show and then on Raw and at this press conference. They're getting Cody. This is starting to feel like Daniel Bryan. Like,
yeah, but
and if they get to that point, I trust Triple H to be like, look, we're putting the belt on him, and this is going to make money for us for a long time to come because Cody and Roman can be a feud that goes another couple years.
Sure. My fear, I've always, we've talked about it a bunch. I've always fear, wrestling fans are fickle. I've always been waiting. When does the backlash start? And my fear is because you saw it start today with Dwayne's little appearance on McAfee's show. When does especially if we spend the next 58 days with Rock continuing to call us all not you included, but me and people like me, Cody's crybabies. That has a non-zero chance of picking up steam.
Whatever.
I just think they're
go shove a chicken nugget up your ass. Rocky.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. So,
at least it felt like The Rock again.
For that 2 minutes, yeah. And then he got out there tonight and was like,
I like that.
Whether you like it or whether you don't like it. Whether you like it or whether you don't like it.
I didn't like that, but I liked the part. The part at the end with Triple H, that attitude.
Yeah, no.
I really liked, but so that before we wrap up, this is something I wanted to get into too, but I want to get there after I make this point. Sure. I don't like that Roman wasn't kind of like bossing up first, because Roman's the head of the table, and again, here comes Dwayne overshadowing somebody. Like, I'm the one that's gonna, like, I think it would have been a bigger deal if like if Rock stepped up to Cody and Roman bossed up and was like, "Whoa, I'm the tribal chief," and then Dwayne slaps him without consulting the tribal chief or whatever, and it all pops off and like the family is together.
Mm-hmm.
Then The Rock flexes the, like, you fix it, I'm on the board, remember, you fix this, that's bullshit, blah blah blah, would have been more impactful, because that would have made it feel more real, because
sure,
Roman's supposed to be, why isn't the head of the table, why isn't the tribal chief defending the family name?
Right. Well, I think they'll get there. I'd be so if last week wouldn't have happened, like that tonight, I would have been like so jacked up to get on here and be like, oh my God, Rock and Roman together? Like, what?
Yeah.
But it's just the way the last week has gone. Like, one other thing, like, I would have, the one thing I would have, like, he said, he brings out his apparently for the last 11 years, Rock's been going through Ancestry.com. And he put his big PowerPoint presentation together with the family tree. And he said the line about the royal family and wrestling. And I'm like, but then you don't play Cody's music? You just have him come out like he might as well said, who told you this was open mic night, bitch?
Yeah.
His music literally starts with wrestling has more than one royal family. Like, what? Yeah. What are we doing here?
Well, see, they probably didn't want Cody getting that kind of pop in front of everybody too. That place would have gone nuts for the what? Like,
but see that flies in the face of, well, they're just doing all this to make him a bigger star. Well, then make him the bigger star.
I think it's a slow build. I think I want to believe at least some of these things are like Easter eggs, or just like you need to start to remember these things so that they can build the fan base to have, like, I think they want that rabid nature that he had last year bumped up a little, so that it's like Daniel Bryan WrestleMania 30, where it's like the fans are salivating for him to win the title, and when he finally does it, it's going to be the, oh my God.
Yeah. I guess.
We'll storybook finish for Cody Rhodes. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I'll puke in my soup.
You haven't brought that one out in a long time.
Real quick.
Yeah.
I really, man, I wonder if now that they're moving to Netflix, now that Vince is out, are they going to push a more PG, or push more away to a TV 14 audience?
Maybe.
because one of the things they got going for them is they've had a really good young audience for a while. That young audience hits their teens. They're going to start wanting a little bit more out of the program, to borrow a term from Pat McAfee.
Yes.
Do they got to push the envelope a little more? You don't have to go gratuitous with it, with the sexual stuff like they did in the Attitude Era, but you can be a little more blunt, a little more aggressive in your language. You know, Becky, you know, using the line on Maria about you're gonna find out what it means to be a bottom. Like, first of all, Becky, how dare you do that to people? Second of all, like, they weren't using terms like that 6 months ago. So like, and then the F-bombs and multiple bullshits and like, that felt awesome. That made it feel a little bit more like, yeah, they're ready to go.
Yeah. So yeah, I could definitely see Raw being like that, and then SmackDown being still on USA, and that's the more toned down version. Yeah, no, I'd be for it. So,
and look, it would play right into the name Raw.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's when the original concept of the show, that would be fit right with it.
Real quick before we go, lost in everything that's been the Cody Roman Rock saga. Also last week on SmackDown, Bayley made her choice, and I thought it was very well done. How they did the fact that she has been picking up on some Japanese. She had a feeling they were all talking behind her back, and she was hip to it, and she chose EO, and so yeah, that's set for Mania. I'm looking forward to that. I'm good for Bayley. Like, she deserves, you know, she deserves to have her Mania moment finally.
This better be it too.
Yeah.
Definitely. This, like, they better give this to her.
Sure. Oh, absolutely. And then yes, sign me all the way up for Becky and Rhea.
Yeah.
That is money as well. So
you combine that with Jade versus Bianca, and I know we talked about a tag match, but if you do Jade versus Bianca, that's 3 monster women's matches.
I'm surprised because Jade was there. Like, I'm surprised they didn't have her come out and either set up the team or the singles match when Bianca was out there, because Bianca really didn't have a purpose other than to go watch my show on Hulu, which is fine, but
right.
So yeah, I think that's it. I think I got it all out. I feel better.
Good. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, I'm happy for myself. The real you'll find this funny, and it's kind of it proves their point a little bit. But so Monday we go to pick Kingston up from my parents' house, and Kyle's there, and he goes, he asked me if I'd bought my night 2 tickets yet. I'm like, no, and I don't even know if I'm going now. He's like, why? And I go, you know why? And he was like, come on, like, if I had the chance to go, I would go. You know, you're gonna regret if you don't go. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. So later that night we get home. My wife goes, what was Kyle saying about the second night? And I was kind of explaining it to her, and she's like, well, why? And I didn't go into full detail. I just basically said, because The Rock's going to wrestle and I don't want to see it. And she's like, well, I want to see The Rock wrestle. I'm like, God damn it, woman.
Yeah. I need you to be on my side for this one.
So for her sake, I hope.
You're going to night 2.
Yeah. I was going to end up going anyways, I guess.
Yeah.
But I was it made me feel better to be very upset online for a few days. So I needed that catharsis.
Good. I was a little bummed. There was a rumor going around that they were going to announce Vegas for WrestleMania next year, and I was kind of like, man, now that I'm getting back into it, if they do Mania in Vegas, that's going to be a hard opportunity for me to pass up.
Right. Yeah, I'm kind of shocked. Like I thought for sure, it was so weird. I thought for sure that Rock was going to pull the Swerve on himself and be like, I'm going to face you at WrestleMania, but not this, do his version of what Cody said. And they would announce WrestleMania 41 in Vegas. Like I thought for sure, boom, stoked. And then he brings Cody back out but then when he's like, he stuck to his guns and was like, no, I'm facing you at WrestleMania. I'm like, oh, are you fucking kidding me? And then luckily Cody came out and saved the day. So. He's the real people's champ, Matt.
Okay, whatever.
He is.
Cheer that pop punk got, huh? There's the people's champ.
Yeah. So.
I did love his line when they were yelling, "We want Cody." He's like, where was this energy in 2013? I would have left if you guys hadn't done this, you jackasses.
Well, yeah. So. All right. Well, unless there's anything else, let's get on.
No. Sounds good.
I'll remember to post the show tomorrow this time.
Did you not post the show last week?
Not until Saturday.
You jackass.
So we recorded on Tuesday, and then I was like,
fix your glasses.
I know.
Actually, no, leave the glasses. You deserve. I should have left it there. You deserve it for this.
You should have.
Yeah.
So we recorded on Tuesday, and I was like, all right, I was gonna post it on Wednesday, and then I got home from work later than I anticipated, so then I had to go get Kingston, blah blah blah, and then I was like, all right, I'll just post it Thursday night when we would normally be recording while she's putting Kingston to bed, blah, blah, blah. I ended up falling asleep on the couch. So, and then I didn't even think about it until I was already halfway up to her parents' house on Friday. And I'm like, shit. So then I'm like, okay. Then SmackDown happened. I'm like, well, so there goes that whole show we just did, but I'll post it anyway and be like, hey, come laugh at us because of how wrong we were. But maybe we're not wrong after all. We'll see.
Jesus.
Still got 50.
Yeah, I can't trust you with anything. I can't trust you with anything.
You really can't.
All right.
I am a mess. So. But anyways, yes, I will remember to post this now. This week on time.
Or don't. I mean,
no, I will.
Okay.
And then I'll have another base cover coming out on Saturday as well. So look out for that.
Nice.
So I'm gonna try and put those out pretty consistently every week. I recorded a bunch when I got home Saturday night, so got them scheduled to come out next few weeks. So yeah, feels good to get back playing some more.
Sure.
But, all right, well, we'll be back next week. Who knows what we'll be next week.
Well, I'll be in my dining room.
Sure.
So.
We'll be 51 days away from WrestleMania, so yeah, because they said 58 today. So
let me do the math on that. Checks out.
Yeah. So all right, well, that'll do it then. Yeah, So subscribe to the channel. Throw a thumbs up on the video. I usually do that at the beginning, but thumbs up on the video. Tap the bell for notifications. I always forget that part. Do that so that every time the video posts.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and drink a Red Bull before the show next week. I can't have these production errors.
It's been a lot the last couple of weeks.
We're just going to blame it on the Zoom update. We'll be back next week better than ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Or worse than before. Who knows?
Probably worse. Until then, see ya.